Hi, and thanks for watching. I'm Michael Alden. Folks, today we have a very important program. Recently, CNN reported that 1/3 of America is pre-diabetic, 23 million are diabetic, and another 7 million have diabetes, and they don't even know it. Folks, this disease is reaching epidemic levels and is a major problem for all of Americans. If you are one of the millions of Americans that are actually suffering with diabetes, pre-diabetes, or any of the symptoms of insulin resistance, such as lack of energy, having trouble losing weight and keeping it off, are you suffering with brain fog? Are you agitated and you don't know why? Or are you concerned about the health of a loved one? Then you're not going to want to miss this next half an hour. On our program today is one of the nation's leading health and wellness experts, Jim Shriner, and he's here today to talk to us about this growing epidemic and what we can do about it. Folks, please help me welcome Mr. Jim Shriner. Jim, thanks for being my guest.
Mike, it's a pleasure. You know, before we get started, I got to be totally honest. I've been doing this for well over 25 years. I've been teaching people how to live healthy lifestyles. Last night, I didn't sleep a wink. I have never been more excited about a program than this program today. Your viewers are watching, and I guarantee it, they're suffering from the symptoms that we're going to be talking about today. Fatigue, brain fog, you mentioned it in the opening, you know, feeling agitated, sleepiness, especially after you eat. But the most important one, Mike, is weight gain. I mean, look around. Americans are gaining weight at epidemic proportions, and diabetes and pre-diabetes and obesity are so intertwined that that's what we're going to be talking about today. You want to solve one problem? Let's take a look at this one, and I can show you how they're so intertwined that by fixing one, you can fix both of them.
Well, let's get right into it because, again, you know, you hear about a lot of different diseases and people, you know, kind of use this word, I think, casually saying things are at an epidemic level. Diabetes is absolutely at an epidemic level. I've done a lot of research before the show. What's going on and what are we supposed to do?
Mike, one of the challenges is we're looking at it all wrong. Our current medical association, Mike, would like you to believe that as you get older, your insulin and your pancreas is just going to stop working right, so you got to take their drugs. Well, that's pretty beneficial if you're a manufacturer of a drug.
Sure.
Think about it, Mike. If you're the owner of a pharmaceutical company, you got one legal responsibility. Get as many people as you can hooked on your drugs.
Right.
Well, the last thing, if you made insulin, if you own the manufacturer of an insulin product or a diabetes product, the last thing you want to do is have your customer listen to me because I'm going to tell you how to not get it in the first place and how to eliminate it and get rid of it if you've got it.
Right.
Well, they don't want you to do that because what they're doing, Mike, is the pharmaceutical industry is doing exactly what they set out to do. They've blinded you. They've got you convinced, Mike. They've got America convinced that, you know what, if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, it's because your insulin's not working right. Your pancreas is not working. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Mike, the truth is your pancreas is working fine. It's producing plenty of insulin, probably producing 5 times more insulin than you need. Mike, it's an efficiency problem. What I'm going to show you today is we're not going to produce more insulin, we're going to get your insulin working right. We're going to get it to do its job. And Mike, when I explain this and you see the role of insulin in not only helping your entire body function, but how it relates to your body's metabolism.
What is the problem? Why is this happening? Why is diabetes really at an epidemic level? What's the cause of it?
Before I address the actual problem, Mike, let me explain to you what's happening in your body so that you can get it.
Okay.
When you eat food, even if it's a good food or a bad food, it doesn't matter. When you eat food, in order for this food to nourish your body, the liver has to convert that food to a sugar called glucose. That glucose then goes into your bloodstream. But here's where it gets critical. That glucose is searching the cells of your body to try to feed them, to energize those cells. In essence, that glucose is your body's metabolism.
Okay.
Your body has got to use that sugar for fuel, just like the fuel you put in your car. Your body needs this food as fuel. So now your liver's converted it to glucose. Glucose is in your bloodstream trying to get in the cells of your body. Without getting in the cell, that sugar can't do its job. So now the pancreas...
Where does it go?
Watch this. The pancreas is going to do its job. Now the pancreas produces a hormone called insulin. insulin holds the key. What happens, insulin starts knocking on that cell door and it says, open up because I want to shove the sugar in so that you can get your energy. But for some reason, Mike, and that's what we're going to be talking about, insulin is knocking on the cell door, but the cell can't hear it. So what's happening is it's knocking, the cell can't hear it, so what's the pancreas do? The pancreas says, well, let's produce more insulin. So the more insulin that it produces, the louder the knocking gets. So finally the cell hears the knocking, opens the door, and the sugar goes in and feeds the cell. Now that's best case scenario, but Mike, here's what's happening. Insulin is a fat storing and locking hormone. If you produce too much insulin, and you now are accommodating that blood sugar, guess what? That insulin sends a mental response to your brain that says, Mike, shut down fat burning. Shut down and start storing fat as fuel. Okay. That excess sugar either gets burned in the cell for energy or it gets stored as body fat. It's that simple. And Mike, that's why we're seeing such an epidemic in obesity related to pre-diabetes and diabetes. Mike, your viewers probably don't even know that the symptoms that they're suffering with today are putting them in direct line to be diagnosed with diabetes. They're tired, they're fatigued. Mike, think about it. As a nation, we are sucking down more energy drinks and coffee than ever before. Nobody bothered asking the question, well, why is America so tired? Why are we drinking coffee and addicted to these energy drinks? Because the cells in your body are not receiving that sugar.
It's just a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle. It sets off a chain of events. You're exactly right. The cell says, feed me, feed me, feed me. You get sugar cravings even though you just ate. And that's why people can't explain and say, Mike, you know, I just ate and 15 minutes later, I'm hungry. I have sugar cravings. Why? Because insulin was not able to open that door effectively. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do, Mike. There's two things that we're going to be focusing on. In my book, Live Diabetes Free, there's two major things that I'm going to teach you how to do. One, we've got to figure out how to slow down the rate that food enters the bloodstream. In essence, that's this glycemic index. I'm going to teach you how to combine certain foods so that those foods enter the bloodstream very slowly. Okay. So you don't have this excessive insulin response. Now you don't have too much insulin in your bloodstream because remember, too much insulin means stored body fat. That's key one. We're going to teach that food how to go into the bloodstream slowly, giving you back that energy. But the second thing I'm going to do, Mike, is I'm going to teach you the techniques that are going to show your body how to get that insulin to do its job more efficiently. What we need your body to do, Mike, is exactly what God designed it to do. When insulin comes into the bloodstream, it knocks on the cell door opens, the food gets delivered, your body is burning the sugar, now you've got energy, you've got mental clarity, your body is functioning like a machine, just like an Indianapolis 500 machine. Look at me, Mike. I've got more energy at 50 years old than I had at 20. I don't need more insulin. My pancreas is working fine. Your viewers, your pancreas is working fine. That's not the issue. The pharmaceutical companies got you convinced that we've got to produce more insulin. No, you don't. You've got to get your insulin working better. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. My techniques are going to slow down the absorption and it's going to teach your insulin to do exactly what God designed it to do. Feed that cell.
You know, I had mentioned earlier, you're pre-diabetic or you have diabetes, and then there's also, 7 million is probably an underestimate of people that actually have diabetes and don't know about it. But what are the symptoms? I mean, what should people really start to notice? I mean, we talked about, being tired and brain fog. It sounds like it sounds like we all suffer from that.
We all do. You know why, Mike? Because
are we all pre-diabetic?
I believe that America is all, listen to this carefully, I believe that America is all insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, and that close to becoming diabetic. And that's a perfect solution for the pharmaceutical companies.
Sure.
The pharmaceutical companies, Mike, want you to get diabetes. They want you to become pre-diabetic because guess what? Now you got to go to your doctor to get a drug. Think about it, Mike. I don't have a doctor. I've never had a doctor.
Right.
Okay, why? Healthy people don't need doctors. I don't take prescription drugs. Why would I take a prescription drug? My body is working exactly how God designed it. And I'm going to teach you how to do the exact same thing.
One of the things that I think is really, really disturbing is, they used to call it adult onset diabetes, right? Now, children that is, again, of epidemic proportions, and children are coming down with diabetes. And why is that?
Mike, it's a catastrophe. The fast food industry is killing us. Processed food industry is killing us. You know, think about this, Mike. Do you know statistics show that the average family, not person, average family consumes 1 raw vegetable a week?
Wow.
Mike, that's insane. I need you to listen very carefully to this. Even the government, I hate to admit it, but the government agrees with me on one thing. Every single disease, including diabetes, is either caused by a nutritional deficiency or a toxin that has entered the body, or a combination of the two.
Right.
Now think about that, Mike. If we know for a fact, science has proven that diabetes and all other illnesses are caused by nutritional deficiencies or toxins, then why in the world are we allowing pharmaceutical companies to inject us with pills and drugs that don't address either issue? These drugs that you get from a pharmaceutical companies don't give you nutrition.
Right.
And they're bringing toxins into your body. The 4th leading cause of death in America today,
Yeah, but aren't
Mike.
they helping? I mean, aren't the drugs helping people?
Mike, great question. They're helping mask over the symptoms.
Okay.
Doctors aren't looking to cure anything. What they're doing is, Mike, you're walking into your doctor with these symptoms. Doc, I'm tired all the time. I'm fatigued. I can't find my car keys. I'm forgetful. I can't seem to lose weight. I exercise every day. I'm eating better. And man, I'm getting fatter. My cholesterol's through the roof. And the doctor, instead of trying to figure out what the problem is, he just gives you a drug to take away the symptom. Think about it, Mike. Doctors are trained to do one of two things. I know it sounds crazy, but doctors go to all this education, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to do one of two things. Either remove a body part that's ailing you, your appendix, or, you know, some body part that's ailing you, or, you know, or prescribe a drug.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's it. That's all they're trained to do.
Jim, hold on to that thought for 1 second. Folks, if you've been watching and you're concerned about diabetes, pre-diabetes, and you want some more information, then pick up the phone and give us a call. We have trained representatives standing by that can answer all the questions. Folks, if you're looking for ways to prevent this debilitating disease or even reverse it, or you're concerned about the health of a loved one, folks, this book is the answer. Live Diabetes Free to 103. It's actually not available in stores. It's actually only available on our show today, and it's available absolutely free. You just pay a small shipping and processing charge. Plus, when you do call to place your order today, ask how you can receive Jim's groundbreaking book entitled Live Disease Free to 103. Again, it's absolutely free. You just pay a small shipping and processing charge. Folks, both of these books, Live Diabetes Free to 103 and Live Disease Free to 103, are absolutely life-changing. So pick up the phone and give us a call. But now, aren't they trained to get you healthier and make you feel better and improve your health? You're saying that they're not trained to do?
No, the pharmaceutical companies have got us so blinded. The pharmaceutical companies have us in the palm of their hand. They've got America believing that, hey, Mike, your body's just going to naturally fall apart. So let it fall apart, and here, take this drug so at least you don't have to feel your body falling apart.
Okay.
I'm telling you that your body doesn't need to fall apart. My body isn't falling apart. I've got more energy now than I had at 20. I have no body fat. I've got mental clarity. I'm at the peak of my life at 50 years old. And I'm telling you, I can give every one of your viewers that exact same thing. All you've got to do is learn a few, listen to this. In my book, I'm going to give you my top 10 foods to eat and my top 10 foods to avoid in order to eliminate, listen to this very carefully, Mike, eliminate diabetes, because diabetes is the leading contributor to everything else. Diabetes has been linked to cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. All the illnesses that are plaguing us today link back to diabetes. And what is diabetes linked to? Poor insulin function.
Tell me the difference between the types. You have type 1 and type 2. What's the difference?
There's actually type 1 and type 2, and we're going to be talking about type 2, Mike. Type 1 diabetes is very rare, and type 1 diabetes basically means that the pancreas is no longer producing insulin. And if you don't have insulin, you basically have no metabolism, and the body's not able to feed the cells.
Okay.
So we're not really going to be talking about type 1, and that's a very, very small amount of people in the United States anyway.